pale attire hides a flame of purest dread, and every oath you break has already been read. I whisper promises to all the little lambs. The mirror lies, but the audience is blind, leaving no escape for the desperate mind. The air is freezing, but the core is fire. Step onto the stage, the price is getting higher. Don't you dare look away from the final act. You must submit, there is no turning back. Watch me skate, watch me pull the strings. I'll show you every pain the loyalty brings. The blood red tears upon the fabric shine. Your deepest secrets are already mine. The walls for the lie I choose to tell you. Sign the contract straight to my own hell. My will is steel, my gaze is absolute. There is no escape from this heartless pursuit. Yeah. Look close, little lamb. This face you think you know. It's just a mask designed to make the weakness show. I weave the schemes, I watch the pawns align. Every single sacrifice has to be divine. The house of the heart demands obedience now, and I am the one who always takes the final bow. No feeling, no fear, just mechanical grace. I control the tempo, I control the space. The mirror lies, but the audience is blind, leaving no escape for the desperate mind. The air is freezing, but the core is fire. Step onto the stage, the price is getting higher. Don't you dare look away from the final act. You must submit, there is no turning back. Watch me pull the strings, I'll show you every pain the loyalty brings. The blood red tears upon the fabric shine. Your deepest secrets are already mine. For the lie I choose to tell you, sign the contract straight to my own hell. My will is steel, my gaze is absolute. There is no escape from this heartless pursuit. Do you see the fire buried deep inside? A broken heart that has nowhere left to hide. I am the monster, but I'm protecting all I know. This empty duty is the only way to grow. Watch me pull the strings, I'll show you every pain the loyalty brings. The blood red tears upon the fabric shine. Your deepest secrets are already mine. For the lie I choose to tell you, sign the contract straight to my own hell. The game is over when I say it is. Cause Watch me
Hello again, party people. Yeah, so I finished that video. Now what? Let me check in real quick because I know my resin was close. I didn't do anything today. I'm already tired. I did sand a lot today. Probably too much. It's easy to get distracted though, you know? Sometimes you forget you're even standing. When I was falling asleep those times when standing up, it was kind of scary that my knees buckled, you know, like almost like my legs were gonna give out. And then I was like, okay, after the second time I was like, okay, maybe I should, you know, sit down or lay down or something, I don't know. It could have been bad. It could be really bad if I fell or something. Because my lower body would go into the desk, and then my above my torso and stuff would hit the back of this coffee table. Pretty bad. 64, okay. So remind you guys, Monday is Genshin Monday. Monday is Genshin Monday. Hopefully I'll be done with the battle pass by then. This wasn't a good batch because like there weren't enough event experience points. Usually those are really overpriced. Not that I'm complaining right now, I'm just saying. I want to have one condense. Yeah, right. Wow. Where do I go? Into that domain? Damn. Is Lohan gonna be able to do a superconduct? Because Sandrone is already lined up to do that. Suppose she can just apply superconduct. She doesn't need the cryo and electro. That's superconduct? It is superconduct, right? I don't know. No, overload is pyro and electro. I think that's overload. Alright, am I giving up on this? I'm just not motivated to do the rest. It's a new season start. One day, the hell. Okay, so we'll be ready on Monday. Okay. Imaginarium's fun. I think I like Imaginarium the best, to be honest. There's a lot more strategy involved in it. Well, I should do the math, right? If I make a profit, that's good, right? It's only how many levels is that going? That's like it's like 6 levels, right? So we just said 6 levels, right? It would be only 900. We're getting 680 back. So that's what I'm saying. We're close to evening out. That's what. No, I wouldn't do that. If I was in Poseidon, I would do that. I mean, you know, like, why not fucking buy the whole fucking shop out? I remember when Tenna showed his battle pass. Everything was bought. Even like the items you didn't need, you still bought them all. Fuck. Dude, Tenna used to drop serious cash on this game, man. He took a long break. I think he went to like he got into better shape, and I think he just felt it was time for some changes in his life. He seems happier now, so. I recognize this song. Just go ahead and use this. Oh no, we have to. Oh, okay. I thought that was a daily. That's weekly. We'll probably we might be around the reset time. Even now, it's not like sometimes I wake up late, but I don't wake up that late. Yeah, I don't know where Tanha got his initial investment from, but he was spending money like it was a job. I guess it was because it was a job. I'm not sure what he's doing these days in terms of gaming. I think he's still involved with Honkai Star Rail, like probably to a lesser extent, but I know he's been doing. I know he did Wuthering Waves, but I'm not sure if he's stuck with it. I haven't heard him mention NTE, but like I wouldn't be surprised. It's like it's new, you know what I mean? So unlike this 5-year-old game over here. Can I buy more? Did I buy it out already? Yeah, I did. Is there anything in Teapot I can buy? Is there anything there worth it? Oh shit, my Welcome Moon ran out. How did I not notice that? No, that's bad. You did for the past 2 days. I've been missing out on the 90 Pure Gems. Fuck. Maybe? Possibly? Maybe? They do say the Welcome Moon is the best value if you think about it. It just sucks that it has to be daily. You can't just get the whole thing in a lump sum. Jesus, Genesis Crystals. Turning in Pure Gems for more wishes. I think we're at I think it's 53 on the character banner, this current one. I wonder what the 4 stars are on phase 2. Nobody ever fucking knows. I hope it's the one I don't have, like Jehoda. Is that the only one? I think there's 2 more. Do I need? I know. I think I might. Oh no, everyone after Amber, I know have C6 on. Oh, I need a Luga, so I do need him. Where's Prune at? Oh, she's in my party. Is she a 5? Oh, I need one more Prune and I'll be caught up with her at least. I really get the feeling Prune's gonna be a little bit of a support. Let me just double check this pity. I feel like, dude, I felt like it was a little bit inaccurate. Is that weird? Yeah, 53. Okay. I could get it to 63 and still be comfortable. I'd be even more comfortable actually. It's a hard choice. Like I don't want to C1 Nicole if I don't need it. Baka. We got an international team here. They're not really international because it's just Monsat. It's not really international. There's only 2 countries, 2 regions. Standard banner. Hello, standard banner. When did I C6 my I-know? I don't remember doing that. I remember Carrara. I got so lucky with Carrara. It's crazy. I think this was the standard banner, and she just popped up. Okay. And 1 condense. We get more with the fragiles. I want to use them. We're at 105 right now, so we're ahead of the curve. I might use that. I might use that on more or something. We have the books for low end already. Eventually we'll need the books for Sandrone, whatever that might be. And technically that's the phase after this. It'll be the patch one, obviously. It will be the update after the live stream. I sort of want to be honest. I can wait. It's all about willpower. What am I gonna do with the Welkin Moon? Am I gonna try to get it or what? Try. I mean, you know what I mean. Like, should I swipe for it? Well, it's not a bad thing to have. I think it might be because like I'm not going for low-hand cons. I already have Mavika cons. Dude, Raiden Shogun got snubbed. That's all I'm saying. She got snubbed. Yeah, 6.7 is usually the rerun, right? Of an Archon. In this case, it would be Columbina, I guess. Can we see a cutscene or something explaining how Columbina goes from the Harbingers to not cry? Can there just be an explanation for this? Like, a cutscene? Like, I don't want to read, so like, why can't you just show me the cinematics? That's what I'm saying. I don't know how to read. Like, why would you have to know how to read in this game? Just because they write essays? This is what I want to be doing right now. This is what I want right there. I want to sit on a throne made of fire. How's that sound? Do you guys ever notice Arlecchino's fire is different from other pyro? Like this has like the black undertone to it. That Zhao cinematic, you guys remember that? Dude, like everyone thinks that's like the best cinematic in the game so far. Dude, like, well, yeah, if you're doing it in order, then you would have done the chasm first. I'm not sure. I don't think about it. I'm not sure. I was gonna say, Arlecchino's cinematic was fucking epic. Her character trailer was good too. Why don't they publish this shit?
Oh, you have my undivided attention.
Oh, is it time for that yet? Or is that on Mondays? What's my schedule? What's this? Oh. $20 hours. Hell, man. This is 20 hours. This is 22 hours. Where's Madam Ping at? Didn't we used to talk about her, Madam Ping? I have too many characters for this damn game. You can't squeeze them all in. Come on now. Damn it. Now I sort of want to watch that Zhao cinematic. Yeah, so the Zhao cinematic people like because like, it had a little bit of everything. And like, I don't think people predicted that such a good cinematic would come from that one like mission in the what do you call it, the chasm. I think people thought it was gonna suck. It was like that's just gonna be Yelan showing off and shit. But like, dude, it was such a good cinematic. Maybe watch it later, maybe. Is there anything else we need to know about Lohan? I know I have most of the stuff. He's gonna cry, alright? Yeah, this is why I was saying, like, is he gonna be doing the superconduct as well? Just not automatically like Sanjon can do it. Dude, Sanjon is like Nouvellette. I heard that. And I was like, oh no. I was like, oh no. My wallet is running away from me. Oh no. Dude, if she's... No, they say she's different than Nouvellette, though. Because she has that gauge. That, like, you can only... It'll overheat if you use it too much, you know? Which makes sense, because if you're using something with electro, and then, the superconduct, I feel like it would generate a lot of heat. Because, like, when the gauge is overloaded... Doesn't it take more time to reset?
What could the children be up to?
Isn't that how most of this shit works?
Let them do as they please.
No quest. What the hell? What the hell? As you can see, Zhongli, 2x right there. Right, Shogun, 2x right there. Why does Sino have 2x? Like, yeah, that makes sense. Farina still hasn't had Act 2. It's straight up blasphemy going on right now. Didn't Linnea... Wait, which one came first? Is it Varka or Linnea? I don't know. Dude, we need to bring the Hangouts back, man. This was like the only 4-star showcase and they took it away. Okay.
Staring into my eyes is ill-advised.
Ill-advised. She has a Sharingan, that's why. So she'll copy your jutsu. It's not so much what can the Sharingan do, is what the Sharingan can't do. Oh, I still want to go back to this game. Let's see if it's saved. Oh, there's an obligatory crash right there. Oh shit. Oh, he's done in real time. Is that it? Do I need more? We have 10. We have level 10. Oh, level 8. Don't I need more nails? $15 minutes? What are we doing? No, upgrade that antenna. Oh. Why is it so high? I don't know what I'm hitting. It's a mystery item. And this had to be a mobile game. It's gonna be quiet night, guys. Quiet night. Oh wow. So what'd you do Saturday, Tony? Well, I dismantled some metal. I made some nails. I fixed the minecart. Was this an IRL? No? No, it was not. I managed my in-game currency better than my actual money. Oh yeah, that reminds me. It's past midnight. I just want to take a look at this. And we got nothing again. Okay, sounds good. Okay, sure. Why can't you just deliver the product you promise? Is that so hard? Excuse me. Okay. Something's going on in Connecticut with the casinos right now. Both of them. Must be having a meeting or something. It's weird to me. I just want this one trophy. Give me a sec. I think this is a finish first, though. 10 minutes. We're gonna go do something else. What are we gonna do? Well, Oh yeah, read the second, huh? I'd be good at a read. Reading is fundamental. 10 expeditions. What do expeditions do in this game? What's this over here? Oh. We should buy these, right? Totally worth it, right? The fuck is a bag fight? Time crisis. Oh my god. It's kind of epic, yeah. Oh, it's in Sub-Zero. The red-headed stepchild of Hoyoverse. I should start playing Infinity Nikki, huh? It's just not my kind of game, so they change outfits all the time. Come on, who doesn't want to do that? I remember hearing about Throne and Liberty, but I haven't heard much about it since. Maybe it was just mid or something, I don't know. Tower Fantasy. Don't get me started on Tower Fantasy. What section is this? I don't like this cartoony part of it. I remember like the first few people that I started playing Genshin Impact with, and this was like on release. It was very close to release, and they wouldn't let me in certain parts at certain times in the missions requests, because they said I wasn't powerful enough. And then you know, as the game progressed and whatnot, and I slowly, of course, you know, gathered C6 there, C6 there. And then one day they looked at my I think they looked at my profile later on, and they're like, "Hey, can you help us with blah blah blah?" And I reminded them, I changed my screen name a while ago, but aren't you that blah 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 person who said I wasn't strong enough? I just thought it was funny. I think I ended up helping them anyway, but it was just like if you can't back your talk with your money, then what can you back your talk with? Just saying. Maybe you can't do that because you don't care that much about the game, apparently. Go ahead and go be free to play. Damn, nobody's stopping you. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Online Battle Royale. Roller Champions? Don't remember that. VR game. VR. Wonder if everyone's already asleep. Well, Yahoo. Oh man. Those caskets. It's nights like these where like let me think how I'm gonna phrase this. It's nights like these I'm reminded about how different it is to live with anyone else, but a room with a view, right? That's all someone needs. Like, I'll admit, I'm somewhat of a hermit. Not like I don't leave my room, it's just that most of the time I don't really have a reason to. Like, that's not by some bizarre grudge choice or whatever. It just, I wouldn't say it's like I don't like interacting with some people, but I don't like interacting with some people. All I keep thinking about is maybe what happens next. Steve Kerr got re-signed, by the way, for the head coach of the Warriors. They need a new star. That's basically what they need. Steph admitted to having knee problems as a result of old age, not injury. He would know. He knows his own body best, so it's kind of hard to argue with him. Okay, we're doing more ducks. Let's take a look at it. Loud. Interesting. Do. Was this every mission? Defusing a bomb? Damn, yo. I'm kind of tired of myself. I know what I want to watch. But should I? The internet is blowing up about those WOW stories. GL. I wonder what GL stands for, guys. Wow. It's not guys, that's for sure. I think I want to eat some shepherd's pie tomorrow. So good. Some ice cream. I want to eat some ice cream. Falling asleep. Sleep dream. I'm only sleeping. I mean, some people never knew sleep dream was a thing. They thought it was just some made up category. No, it's real. It's very much real. Damn, I gotta start going to the gym again. Obviously, I'm not overweight or anything. It's just, I feel like when I was going, things were a lot easier. I think I lost a lot of arm strength. It kind of sucks, but it happens. New charity's coming up soon, also on Monday. Yeah, and then an important meeting on Wednesday, the 3rd of June. It's pretty important, I guess, yeah. Oh, today is the very first. It's kind of weird. I can see when the bathroom light is on, you know. Because I was like, oh, someone's using the bathroom. You know what I mean? Maybe I will go to bed early. I don't know. Quote unquote early. Maybe by like 3. It leaves us like around 3-hour mark for the whole VOD, the stream, whatever. I mean, we can watch an episode. I call them episodes. We can watch Pappy. You guys want to watch Pappy? You can watch Peachy Bun. You can watch Peachy Bun. Unboxing a 3D printer. I don't know how big it is. What is she trying to 3D print? Weird, huh? Is there a basketball game? Let me check the bracket. Now I'm wondering. Spurs and Knicks in the finals. It's crazy, huh? Dude, how did Spurs beat the Thunder? Holy shit. A lot of people in New York can be happy. Haven't been in what? NBA finals in how long? If the Spurs win this championship with Wembanyama, is he one of the oldest, youngest players to get this far this early? I want to see the Knicks win. I just think the Spurs have too many weapons. And if you argue they don't, well, they have like a couple, at least one really big weapon. I'm just saying. Alright guys, I'm gonna get something snack-wise to eat. I'll be right back. We'll figure out something to watch or whatever. Watch a little lesbian series. Dude, like, they're just really well written. You guys don't understand. Like, come on, you don't understand. You don't understand. I was gonna start watching some TV. Forget I was streaming. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna find something. This bracket to me is insane, though, man. Spurs beat everybody's ass. Oh shit. Oh, but Spurs have the higher seed, or you know, rank or whatever. So they're gonna have home court. Well, hope the Knicks know what they're doing. Okay. Let me see. We're here. YouTube. I'm trying to find a good one. They're all pretty good though. I gotta see some of these. Sounds pretty good. This sounds like a good one.
Trailmakers is a vehicle building game based on real physics, where creativity, high-speed action, and controlled chaos all come together. Build whatever your heart desires using the intuitive building system with access to more than 300 different blocks that affect aerodynamics, speed, combat, and much more. Getting started is simple. To build a car, all you need is 4 wheels, 2 hinges, a seat, and an engine, and you're good to go. The building system is made to be accessible for beginners, while still offering plenty of depth for experienced engineers as well. Not satisfied with the top speed of your car? Well, you could always put in more engines. But you really like this slim design you have going now. Try opening the aerodynamics menu to see if there are any parts of your car being held back by wind resistance. Fit the area with more aero-optimal shapes, and look at that! You are slicing through the air like butter. Once you have learned the basics of building cars, why not up the challenge a bit? Try building an airplane. Uh-oh, the weight distribution is not quite right. Open the Forces menu to see things like center of mass, center of thrust, drag forces, and more. Move a few blocks around.
Hello, my loves. Today's story is about a broken heart and a connection that may seem fake at first, but slowly turns into something deeply real. I think you'll truly enjoy this story, filled with unexpected feelings, a bond that grows little by little, and moments that touch the heart, all the way to the end.
We watch this.
The worst decision I ever made started with a cup of coffee going cold on a table I was too heartbroken to sit at. Let me back up. I had been in love with Chloe Hartwell for 14 months, 2 weeks, and what felt like approximately 11,000 years. I know the exact number because I am, embarrassingly, a person who kept a journal at the time, and the first entry where her name appeared was dated September 4th of my junior year. Scrawled in the margins of a sociology lecture I had completely stopped listening to the moment she walked in late, still wearing her sunglasses, still carrying a coffee that cost more than my textbook, still looking like she had just stepped off a film set where everyone was required to be effortlessly devastating. I wrote, Chloe Hartwell sat next to me today. She smells like cedar and something I cannot name. I am in trouble. I was in trouble. 14 months later, I was still in trouble, except now the trouble had a name and a pattern and a very specific shape that looked like this. Chloe would drift close to me for a few weeks, texting at midnight, finding reasons to sit beside me in the library, grazing my arm when she laughed, letting her shoulder press into mine at parties. Then she would drift away again, and I would spend 2 weeks eating cereal at odd hours and telling myself I was fine, absolutely fine, totally over it, completely done. Then she would drift back. And I would let her every single time because apparently I had the self-preservation instincts of a houseplant in a drought. The week everything changed, she had been in one of her drifting back phases. And I had been foolish enough to think maybe this time was different. Maybe this time I would say something real. Maybe this time she would stop looking at me like I was the most interesting puzzle she had never quite solved and actually reach for me. I had been walking around campus for 2 weeks in a state of low-grade electricity, the kind where every text notification makes your heart do something embarrassing, and every time you turn a corner, there is a small involuntary calculation about whether she might be there. She was not there when I wanted her to be. She was there instead, when I least expected it, and in the worst possible way. I found out via the extremely humiliating channel of watching it happen directly in front of me at the campus coffee shop that Chloe was apparently seeing someone. A graduate student named Petra, who had cheekbones like a Renaissance painting, and the kind of quiet confidence that made people stop mid-sentence to stare at her. They were standing at the counter together. Chloe had her hand on the small of Petra's back. She was whispering something in her ear. Petra laughed, a private laugh, the kind that belongs only to the person who caused it. And Chloe's face did something soft and unguarded that I had never, in 14 months of wanting her, seen her turn toward me. I stood there with my cold latte and my very loudly breaking heart, and I thought, with devastating clarity, she has never once whispered anything in my ear. I left before they saw me. I sat on a bench outside the humanities building, and I put my headphones in without playing anything, and I stared at the middle distance for a long time, doing that very specific kind of breathing you do when you are trying not to cry in public. The kind where your whole chest is tight, and your throat is doing something complicated, and you are praying to every god who has ever existed that your eyes will just hold it together for approximately 12 more minutes until you reach your dorm room. I had been so certain this cycle was building to something. So certain that the next time she drifted back, I would have the courage to name what was happening between us, and she would look at me, and the long, painful dance of almost would finally resolve.
This professional 32 TW SSD, capable of holding the entire collection of the New York Public Library, is something you won't find at Best Buy or any electronics retailer. Even if you were willing to drop $1,000, you couldn't buy it. But today, you can own it for the price of a single beer. Here's the deal. Due to the ongoing conflict in the Middle East and the crisis in the Red Sea, global shipping is in total chaos. Our entire shipment destined for major US retail chains was canceled, leaving...
I had been holding that narrative close for over a year, warming myself on it in the cold stretches when she was away. And now I was sitting on a bench in October, watching it dissolve entirely. And the worst part, the really specific, pointed cruelty of it, was that she didn't even know I was sitting here. She was not even thinking about me right now. She was whispering in someone else's ear, and I was grieving something she had never quite given me permission to grieve. My phone buzzed. It was a text from Sadie Chen. Now, Sadie Chen was not exactly my closest friend. She was more like a recurring presence in my life. We had 3 overlapping courses that semester. We had talked at enough parties to know each other's coffee orders and general life philosophies. And she had this habit of appearing exactly when I was least prepared for her and saying something that landed differently than anything anyone else had said all week. She was the kind of person who seemed to be paying attention to everything at once, like she had some extra perceptual equipment the rest of us hadn't been issued. It was a little unnerving, honestly. Meeting her eyes felt like being read. Her text said, "I just watched you flee the coffee shop like the building was on fire. You okay?" I looked up. She was standing maybe 30 feet away, outside the library entrance, a canvas bag over one shoulder and a very perceptive expression on her face. She was wearing that dark jacket she always wore, the one that fit her like it had been made for her specifically, and her dark hair was loose. And she was looking at me with the kind of direct attention that made you feel briefly transparent. I typed back, "I'm fine." She typed back, "You are famously not fine. Come sit with me." So I went and sat with her on the library steps, and I told her about Petra with the cheekbones. I told her about the hand on the back, and the whispered thing, and the soft, unguarded face. I told her about 14 months of cycling between almost something and nothing in a way that I hadn't told most of my friends, because most of my friends had opinions about Chloe that started with Maya, honestly, and went somewhere I wasn't always ready to go. Sadie listened in that very still, very complete way she had, where you felt like every word you said was actually being received rather than just heard. She didn't offer immediate opinions. She didn't say, "Oh no," or "I'm so sorry" in that reflexive, slightly hollow way. She just let me finish. Then she was quiet for a second. Then she said, "So what do you want to do about it?" I said, "I don't know. Nothing." Spiral quietly. She tilted her head. "That's boring, though." I looked at her. "Sorry?" "I mean, that's your call, obviously, but you've been letting Chloe Hartwell do the drifting thing to you for over a year, and I've watched it, and it seems painful and a little bit maddening, and also, and I say this with genuine care for you as a person, you deserve better than being someone's maybe." I stared at her for a moment. "How do you even know about the drifting thing?" She gave me a look that was almost fond. "Maya, everyone in our social circle has watched you quietly orbit that woman for a year. We've all been waiting for you to either combust or land." I opened my mouth, closed it, said, "That is horrifying to learn." She smiled. It was a very good smile, actually. Sadie had a smile that started slow and then arrived all at once, and it always felt like something being given rather than performed. "Here's the thing," she said. "Chloe Hartwell does not know what she has. And people like that, people who are used to having someone's attention without consequence, sometimes the only thing that gets through to them is the possibility of loss." I looked at her carefully. are you suggesting I make her jealous? I'm suggesting you give her something real to feel, Sadie said, instead of just being available. The silence between us was very specific.
It's
I
good.
could
That's a
feel
good
my own
line.
heartbeat. I don't exactly have a girlfriend to produce, I said. Sadie picked up her coffee cup, took a sip, set it down again with very deliberate calm. You could, she said, if you wanted. I stared at her. She looked back at me with those dark eyes that always seemed to be thinking three things at once, and she said, I'm not seeing anyone. You're not seeing anyone. We have enough overlap in our social circle that it would be completely believable. And frankly, I could use the practice of being someone's girlfriend without actually being someone's girlfriend, for reasons I might explain later if we're both still speaking at the end of this conversation. That is, I said very slowly, a completely unhinged suggestion. Yes, she agreed, but you're considering it. And the frustrating thing was that she was right. I was considering it. I was sitting there on the library steps with my cold latte and my bruised heart, and I was looking at Sadie Chen, who was, now that I thought about it, genuinely beautiful, with her dark hair and her precise way of speaking, and that jacket she always wore that looked like it had been designed specifically to make people look twice. And I was thinking, this could work. Which was either the first sensible thought I'd had in 14 months, or the beginning of a much larger disaster. The answer, it turned out, was both. We made rules that afternoon, sitting on those steps while the October light turned everything gold and slightly cinematic, which felt appropriate. Rule 1, we would be convincing in public but honest in private. Rule 2, no real feelings. Sadie said this with a very straight face, and I said, of course, absolutely, through obviously, and I meant it completely at the time. I want to be clear about that. I was not secretly hoping it would become real. I was genuinely executing what I believed to be a strategy. Rule 3, either of us could call it off at any time for any reason, no questions asked. Rule 4, we would give each other full veto power on public displays of affection, meaning nothing would happen that we hadn't both agreed to. Rule 5, which Sadie added at the end with a slight lift of her eyebrow, we don't lie to each other. Whatever this is, we're honest inside it. I thought that was a nice rule. Sensible, very mature. I agreed to it without fully understanding what it would eventually mean for me. The first time we appeared together as a couple, it was at Jonah Park's Thursday night gathering, a rotating event held in whichever apartment was cleanest that week, which this particular Thursday turned out to be Jonah's. I knocked on Sadie's door at 8:45, and she opened it in a dark green sweater that fit her exactly right. Her hair down, a small silver earring catching the hallway light, and she looked at me for a second and said, "You look nervous." "I'm not nervous," I said. "You're doing the thing where you press your lips together." "I'm not doing anything." She reached forward and touched my wrist very lightly, just a brush of her fingers, and said, "Hey, this is going to be fine. We're just going to a party. We already know each other. Just be with me." "Just be with me," she said it like it was the simplest thing in the world. Like being with her was a natural state rather than a calculated performance. I took a breath. Something in my shoulders released by half an inch. "Okay," I said. "Let's go." We walked into Jonah's apartment, and the first thing that happened, within approximately 4 minutes, was that Chloe looked up from across the room and saw us. I felt it before I saw it. The way the air changed slightly, the way a conversation I wasn't part of stuttered for just a second. Then I looked over, and Chloe's eyes were on me, and then on Sadie, and then on the way Sadie's hand had found the small of my back, because Sadie had done that without me asking, perfectly naturally, like it was just where her hand went when we were in a room together. The warmth of it registered in my spine before my brain caught up. Chloe's expression did something complicated, but she covered it fast. She was very good at that, at assembling her face back into something smooth and unreadable, She smiled. She looked away. She went back to her conversation. But I had seen it. That split second of something, a flinch, a recalibration, a very tiny earthquake behind her eyes. And something happened in my chest that was partly triumphant and partly terrible, and partly something else I didn't have a word for yet. Sadie leaned close and said quietly, near my ear. She noticed. I know, I whispered. How do you feel? I thought about it honestly. Complicated. She made a small sound that might have been acknowledgement, and her hand was still warm at the small of my back. Good, she said. Complicated means it's working. What I did not expect was how easy it was to be with Sadie in a room full of people. I had been dreading the performance of it, the careful choreography of pretending to be someone's girlfriend when you weren't, when every gesture felt scripted and slightly hollow. But Sadie moved through that party like she had always been the person I came with, and she made it feel not like a performance at all, but like something organic and real. She brought me into conversations seamlessly, one hand sometimes touching my shoulder, once my elbow, in the casual way of someone who does not need to announce possession, but simply acts like you are just theirs. She remembered something I'd said months ago about hating a particular song and mouthed no at me, sympathetically when it came on. She laughed at things I said, and the laugh was genuine. I could tell because Sadie's real laugh was a little surprised, like she hadn't expected to be as amused as she was, and it was very different from the polite laugh she used when she was being socially appropriate. Twice during the night, I looked up and found Chloe watching us. The first time, Chloe was mid-conversation with someone, her wine glass halfway to her mouth, and her eyes were tracking across the room to where Sadie and I were standing. When she caught me looking, she held my gaze for exactly 1 second, something questioning in it, and then looked deliberately away. The second time, it was later in the evening, and Sadie and I were in the corner near the bookshelf because we'd gotten pulled into a conversation with someone from Sadie's art history course, and the conversation had become genuinely interesting. Sadie was animated in the way she got when she was actually engaged. Her hands moving slightly, her voice quicker, her eyes bright. At some point, she turned to include me in what she was saying, and she put her hand against the bookshelf right beside my head, not quite leaning in, but close, and she was looking at me while she talked. And I was looking back, and I think from the outside it probably looked like exactly the kind of private, absorbed attention that couples have. I'm not sure it was entirely a performance on my side. I'm not sure what it was. When I looked for Chloe again, she was standing slightly apart from her group, and she was watching us, and this time when she caught me looking, she didn't look away first. She looked at Sadie, then back at me. Her chin lifted, very slightly, and there was something in her face, something pressed and uncertain, that I had never seen there before. I drove home that night feeling something strange and electric, like the world had shifted slightly on its axis and hadn't fully settled back. I kept running the feel of Sadie's hand at my back. I kept seeing Chloe's face, the twice caught watching. I kept feeling the strange, warm pull of standing in that corner while Sadie talked with her whole body about something she cared about. I told myself, the plan is working. This is good. This is exactly what was supposed to happen. I believed about 60% of that. Over the next 3 weeks, Sadie and I built the relationship the way you build something without realizing you're building it, incrementally, naturally, one small thing at a time. We started having coffee together most mornings because we had a shared class at 9, and then the coffee became a habit that extended past the class, and the habit became conversations, and the conversations became the kind where you lost track of time and looked up and thought, oh, it's been 2 hours, how did that happen? She was funny in a way I hadn't fully registered before, dry and precise, and occasionally a little ruthless about things she found pretentious, which made me laugh more than I expected because I found myself agreeing with her constantly. She had strong opinions about literature and architecture, and the correct way to eat a burrito, and the ethics of skipping the first 15 minutes of any film you'd already seen. She laid those opinions out like she was genuinely interested in whether you agreed or not, rather than just waiting for you to validate them. When you pushed back, she actually engaged with the pushback, adjusted, changed her mind sometimes, held her ground other times, and always, always told you why. She also had this quality of noticing. I kept running into it and being surprised by it, like walking into a piece of furniture in a dark room. She noticed when I was tired before I said so. She noticed when I was trying to hide that something had upset me. She noticed when I was about to say something I didn't quite mean, and she would wait, very patiently, and then say, "Was that what you actually wanted to say, or was that the version you thought I wanted to hear?" It was occasionally maddening. It was also, slowly, becoming the thing I looked forward to most in any given day. We had coffee one morning in the 3rd week, and she arrived slightly late with paint on her left hand. She was taking a studio course that semester, figure drawing, and she sat down and said, without preamble, "Tell me something you've never told anyone," and looked at me like she was settling in for something real. I said, startled, "Right now? Before I'd finished my coffee?" "It doesn't have to be enormous," she said. "Just something true." I thought about it. Then I said, "I think the reason I've never said anything to Chloe in all this time is that as long as I didn't say it, there was still a version of events where she might choose me. And I was more afraid of being definitively not chosen than of the prolonged uncertainty." Sadie looked at me for a moment. "That's very honest," she said. "You asked." "I know. I'm glad you answered that way." She wrapped both hands around her mug. "My turn. I think the reason I agreed to this arrangement, the real reason under the practical one, is that I have been alone in a way that felt less like freedom and more like waiting. And I thought I could have the shape of closeness without the risk of it, the practice run without the stakes." She looked up. Her eyes were steady. "I'm not sure that's a healthy reason." "I'm not sure mine is either," I said. "We're doing well," she said, dry. I laughed, and she did too, and the laughter was real, and the morning light was coming in sideways through the cafe window and catching the paint on her hand. And I thought, I like you. I genuinely, specifically like you. And then I drank my coffee and didn't say it out loud because we had a rule. Chloe, meanwhile, was doing exactly what Sadie had predicted. She was drifting back. She texted me things that didn't quite make sense. Random questions. Songs she said reminded her of me. A meme that was genuinely funny, but was mostly just a reason to text me at 11 at night. She started showing up in places I was. At the campus cafe. At the library at times she didn't normally study. She would sit near me and find reasons to talk. And there was something new in her voice when she did it. Something slightly careful and slightly urgent, like she was trying to find a foothold on a surface that used to be solid. One afternoon, she appeared beside me while I was studying in the quad, and she sat down without asking and said, "You seem different lately." "Different how?" I said, not looking up from my notes. "I don't know. More settled. Or less." She paused. "You always used to watch for me. You don't anymore." I looked up then. Chloe Hartwell was someone who was used to being the most luminous thing in any given room, and she was not wrong that I had always known where she was. I had been so reliably attuned to her for over a year that she had probably mapped my attention the way people map the furniture in their home. Not consciously, not gratefully, just dependably. Just there. I've been busy, I said. With Sadie, she said. Not quite a question. Among other things. She was quiet for a moment. Then she said, in a voice that was careful and slightly surprised at itself, "She seems good for you." The comment landed oddly. I looked at her. "Why do you say that?" "Because you smile different when you talk about her." She looked down at her own hands. "I've noticed." I didn't know what to do with that, so I went back to my notes. Chloe sat there for a few more minutes, not quite saying anything else, and then she left. And I sat there in the afternoon sun, and I thought about the phrase, "you smile different," and I turned it over in my head until it stopped making sense. The thing about almost realizations is that your brain will do extraordinary things to protect you from finishing them. It will construct elaborate scaffolding around the thing you're starting to know, and it will label all the scaffolding with very sensible names. We're friends, she's kind, I'm grateful, this is just the arrangement working well. And you will look at the scaffolding and feel that it is very solid, and you will be briefly reassured. And then something will happen that knocks the scaffolding down completely. For me, that something happened on a Wednesday afternoon in November. I had been sick. Nothing dramatic, just the tired, achy, miserable variety of sick that turns everything slightly gray. And I had spent 2 days in my room in the lowest effort version of myself. Unwashed hair, old sweatshirt, crackers, and bad television. I had texted Sadie to cancel our coffee and told her it was fine. I was fine, just a bit under the weather. She didn't need to do anything. She showed up at my door that afternoon with soup she had gotten from the good place across campus, and cold medicine, and a library book she'd grabbed because she'd remembered me saying 2 weeks earlier that I'd been meaning to read it, and a small thing of ginger chews because she had heard somewhere that they helped with the kind of headache that came with this type of cold. She knocked very softly, and when I opened the door, she looked at me in my very disheveled state and didn't do the polite thing of pretending I looked okay. She just said, with complete uncondescending warmth, "Hi, I brought provisions." I said, "You didn't have to." "I know," she said. "Are you going to let me in?" I let her in. She set up the soup on my desk and sat on the end of my bed, and she stayed for 3 hours. She didn't try to fix me or cheer me up or perform any type of comfort that wasn't actually wanted.
This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. For the price of a single chocolate bar, you can own a genuine, massive 32 terabytes portable SSD with blazing speeds of up to 5,000 megabytes per second. Here is the backstory. These drives were originally manufactured for export to the Middle East, but due to unforeseen circumstances, the entire shipment got stranded at the port.
She just sat with me while I ate the soup, and
I'll be right back, guys. Yeah, I want to watch the rest of this. I want to watch it. What do you guys think so far? Like, 'cause I like these, like the different story concepts and stuff. So some of them are very clever. Yeah, this is Rose Everly, her channel. This was like the first channel I ever found, and like I looked at other channels and stuff, but like there's something about hers that are like, I don't want to say better, but just different in a good way. Yeah, I think I should go to bed. I'm more tired than I thought. See you tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. Yeah. In 2 hours. Yay. 2 hours. Sometimes I hate ending stream. Because I feel like I can go longer, you know. In terms of either that he's standing up or just sitting here. Either one. Yeah. Just another night in paradise. Take care of yourselves and each other, guys.